Okay, well, good evening. We're so excited that y'all are here, and we are excited to share something that has helped us. And it's summertime, so and I'm recovering. Well, I just recovered from COVID, so I hope I don't have COVID brain this time. I swear I had it for months last time, but hopefully I'll be able to share Plexus like I always have. And but yeah, like I said, our family has recovered from COVID, and my husband still has it, and my son, who was not here when the rest of us had it, he's kind of doing it too. So fun stuff. But it is kind of interesting because where your immunity is whenever you're thrown something like COVID is really important. We live in a COVID world now. We live in a world where viruses and sicknesses are being tossed to and fro right now because of everybody coming back together for Bible schools and all the fun things that we're doing this summer. And so it's kind of interesting to even be having one of these so close to me getting over COVID, because our immunity is in our gut. And that's something we're going to be talking about tonight, is a lot about our gut and how gut health impacts your overall health. And I usually have a handy dandy slideshow, but tonight I don't. So if you are someone who, you come to something like this and you say, well, why would I need something like that? I would have probably thought that 6 years ago whenever I started. I've been taking the products now for that long, and I've had 2 children during that time. We started out with 3, now we have 5. Personally, there was very small list of things that I needed Plexus for, because I didn't really know what all it would do for me, number one, but I also didn't have a whole lot of health issues. I wasn't even 30 at the time, and really I was just tired. I mean, I had 3 pregnancies very close together, and I was just tired from taking care of everybody all day long. But my husband's health was in a very bad place, and so he was sick all the time. He had IBS and back issues that would jerk him awake at night, cramping in his back. And it sounds small, but whenever he was stiff all the time, like whenever you bend over in a garden and you've been hoeing all day. And so he was stiff like that all the time, and then would cramp all night and just get very little sleep, which would impact him the next day. And he was a teacher and a pastor at the same time, and we have 3 little kids. And so it was kind of like the perfect storm. And so I was already looking into all kinds of natural things for health when a friend of mine who had 5 children, and she would say, I still have energy at night after my kids go to bed. And I'm like falling asleep at nap time, falling asleep with my kids in the bed. And I'm like, where is this at? Because caffeine's not cutting it anymore. And I know it's not good for me. And so that was really the reason why we turned to Plexus. I was already, like I said, I already knew the value of natural health products, because even on a single limited, very limited budget, I was still finding the ability to go to the health food store, and they would give me all their recommendations, and I would try to make the very best decisions based upon that. But we weren't seeing any results really from the things that I was doing, just because it just didn't have the same formulation that Plexus does. And so, like I said, we were on an extremely limited budget. And so even trying something like Plexus actually meant that I had to go into my savings account, because I was like, we just couldn't afford it. And you may be here tonight and you think, I just don't know that I can, with inflation cost up, we've got gas up and all these things. But I want the things that we're going to talk about tonight, I want you to think about your health as much as an investment as your retirement and as your children. We don't even think a second about spending money on our kids for anything that they need. And even if you don't have children, maybe you just have a ministry, or maybe you're just a person who's a faithful worker at your job. You are important, and your health is an investment. So either you're going to spend money at the doctor's office, like we were with my husband, and like a lot of the ladies on this call who were spending hundreds of dollars at the doctor's appointments and things like that, and on medication constantly with horrible side effects, or you're going to spend money on your health. And I choose health. And so that's just a thought. But why would you even need Plexus? So everybody kind of comes to something like this from a different place. And And I have a long list of things. I don't have it on here, but just think about it like this: any gut issues that you have, like IBS or constipation, those are huge. Number one radar. Okay, when you hear gut, you think those two. Eczema, acne, psoriasis, skin issues, joint issues. Maybe you have painful pain, like it just travels all over your body. That those are huge issues that can be related to your gut. Low energy, hormones being off, no sleep at night, and those kind of things can actually really be linked to your gut health. And there's a whole lot more. That's just the beginning. And weight issues. Maybe you're one of those people who's, you've got one issue that led to another, and you maybe the root of all of that is found in your gut. So maybe you can relate to just even one of the things that I shared just then, even inflammation and low immunity. Like I talked about at the beginning, where you are whenever you're hit with something like COVID or flu or any of the other things that are going around these days really matters, because it matters how well you're going to be able to fight it off. And unfortunately, I mean, yes, you can take and load up on the vitamin C and load up on everything that there is to take. But it is really important where we're standing when we're handed those things. Okay. And so that's why I choose health, so that I can be fortified and have my armor on, basically, and be able to fight that thing off. Because if you're already in a bad place when you got something like that, it does make it harder. And you tend to even get into further health issues and things that could keep going on and on. Okay, so that's why why you should think about trying Plexus. Seeing your health as an investment, and then seeing the health issues that you're having on the outside as linked to a root that is probably found in your gut. Even anxiety and depression. I know that you think, oh, that's all related to my circumstances, which could be. There are multiple facets to this kind of thing, but there's also the gut is called the second brain. And we have a nerve that runs from our brain down to our gut. And so when we get our gut bacteria in balance, we actually begin to see improvement all over our bodies. And so before I go into like the specific ways that Plexus helps with that, I asked Mackenzie, I don't know if she's able to right now. It looks like she's talking to her kids. And everybody on this call has a bunch of kids. So if we all look busy, that's why. Can you share now, Mackenzie, about
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I am Mackenzie, and my husband and I are missionaries in the West Indies. I went through some health issues in 2020, and because we are in more of a third world country, the medical system is a little different, and they put me on some medicine more for preventative reasons. And knowing what I know now, I probably would have refused it, but it really messed up my body. I ended up with colitis and ended up in the hospital, and because of that needed more antibiotics. So it was pretty rough. I ended up really dehydrated, but we got through that, which needed more antibiotics. But after that, my gut was just, my whole body was just run down, and I was so tired, and it seemed like it was one thing after another, and there was no break. I was run down, I was tired. My digestive system obviously was a mess. I was having headaches all the time. I was having a UTI almost monthly, which obviously would need more antibiotics. I couldn't get ahead of the game. And we were running happening, and the only thing they could really offer me was more medicine to fix the problem right then. So they couldn't give me an answer how to keep it from happening, or, to not need to be on antibiotics all the time. And I was dealing with the feelings of hopelessness, almost depression, like Ashley said, but it was because of my circumstances. I felt like I couldn't get past that, and like my digestive system was always a mess. And it was like I would wake up and I wasn't sure what that day was going to bring. Was I going to be in pain all day? Was my stomach going to be a mess? It was rough. And I had seen her, Ashley, sharing about Plexus, and I had started looking into gut health because I knew after being on so many antibiotics that was probably part of my issue. And she had posted some stuff in her stories, and I just hit the little buttons on her polls, and she reached out to me and she helped me to get started on Triplex. And I started that in September, I think, of last year. And within a week, I noticed that I had more energy. I wasn't falling asleep at the table with my kids doing school. And I felt like I could actually make it through the day and actually do just the normal things, the normal daily things. I know about a month in, my digestive system really started to get better. I wasn't having to plan my whole day around the bathroom and where it was. And then I realized that I hadn't taken anything for pain in like 3 weeks. And that was a huge deal for me because I hated having to take it all the time. And I literally was taking it by the directions on the bottle because I couldn't make it without it. And I realized that it had been 3 weeks since I'd taken anything. I was like, wait a minute, this stuff is really working. And that was the seal the deal kind of thing for me. I knew that this is working, I'm going to stay on it. And started thinking about sharing it. But it took time and consistency. But really, I was amazed at the things that changed and the things that still change. Anxiety, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety just because of health issues. And it really did help me to get things back and get my life back and be able to be what I needed to be for my children and for our ministry. And I am really thankful for it. I'll turn it back over to you, Ashley.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so, why do, Mackenzie kind of mentioned that they put her on a medication. She went through like a health crisis, and she doesn't live in America. She lives in the Caribbean islands, y'all. It's beautiful. I'm a little jealous sometimes, but she had like a health crisis, and a lot of us don't necessarily experience what she experienced. It's a slow decline. We eat a lot of processed foods in America, the standard American diet, as they call it, and stress, all of those things, birth control pills, all that just kind of adds, and overuse of antibiotics. She mentioned that. All of that just kind of adds to this big pot of things that make our gut health go south. And so the things that she talked about, all of that was all related to her gut health and some other things that we're going to talk about now, and how the Triplex helps. And she mentioned that she takes the Triplex, and that is really our like flagship product for helping people with their overall health. And so I do have my PowerPoint pulled up, and I'm going to share that with y'all because it'll help me stay on track. Okay, can y'all see that? Okay. So I want you to think about your gut as a garden, because there's good things in there and bad things in there. And sometimes, like my garden at home right now, sometimes the weeds start to overgrow. Okay. And so, I'm sorry, y'all. The very first thing whenever you are thinking about planting any garden is you need to pull the bad stuff out. And unfortunately, because of all the things that I mentioned to you earlier, we do have bad things inside of our gut, and things just kind of live there. And we kind of set up an environment for things to live there. And if you think about a person who struggles with constipation, things are just kind of sitting there for a while. And so we got to get that stuff moving. And we talk a lot about bathroom habits at Plexus, so don't feel uncomfortable with that. But BioCleanse is a product that helps your body do what it's already trying to do. And some people go to the bathroom too much, and some people go too little. And this product has a way of bringing everybody to the middle. My husband went way too much. I was just normal, and I haven't changed at all. And so if you see the word cleanse and you think, I could never take something like that. Well, your body's already doing that every day. And sometimes it just needs a little assistance to really get the job done. And so this is going to pull and move the bad stuff that needs to be moving out. Okay. But it's also going to get rid of the stuff that this product picks up. And this is what it looks like now. I don't know if y'all can actually see me on here. I don't know if y'all can actually see me. Can y'all see me? Okay. This is what it looks like now. So if you were to go on the website, you would see this. We rebranded our products, but this is called ProBio 5. And this is a little jewel in a bottle because you take and pull the you continue to pull out the bad stuff because this actually has in it a couple of sciencey words, okay? Antifungal, and it has enzymes in it that help you to get rid of the bad stuff, okay? So it keeps what we call yeast balance in your gut. And, you know, usually when we think of yeast infections and things like that. That's all a symptom of having too much yeast in your body too. You know, thrush on a baby's mouth, like those are the things we think about with yeast. But I want you to know that there's actually yeast in your gut, and it's good. It's there for whenever you die to help decompose your body, but it grows way too much because of the stuff that we put in our body. Sugar is a huge thing that feeds our yeast. It likes it, and it makes you crave sugar. So if you have a lot of sugar cravings, you probably have an overgrowth of yeast in your gut, and it needs to be brought into balance. So this product not only gets rid of the bad stuff, but it also has the 5 strands of probiotics in it that help put in the good stuff into your gut. So this thing is doing a double job. And then the Bio Cleanse, which this is the bottle for that one now, this helps move everything out. Okay. So then the next thing, I think my baby just must have fallen off the bed. It sounds like somebody's in there crying. But anyway, we also have Slim. And this product, I really like it because it does 2 things, well, 3 things. It helps to balance your blood sugar. And why would you want that? You know, blood sugar and a diabetic or a pregnant lady, they understand that. They talk blood sugar a lot. But what about the average person? You know, you think I don't have a problem with that, but you do. Your body is constantly fighting the roller coaster of your insulin levels inside of your body. And I know I'm talking a lot of science. Anyway, your blood sugar is always going up and down, and that's why you're reaching for a snack. That's why you eat. Your brain is needing food, okay? And it's trying to keep your blood sugar at a healthy, balanced level. And so that's what this product is for. This is our Slim product, and it looks like this now. We have 2 choices. We have one that has a prebiotic in it that's going to add fertilizer, okay? So think about this like Miracle-Gro. This is the microbiome activating. So your microbiome is your gut garden. This is going to put fertilizer onto the good bacteria in there. And this is going to help protect what's already there. So this puts the Miracle-Gro in there to protect the good seeds that the ProBio 5 is putting in there. And it also is helping to balance your blood sugar, which is huge because insulin is your master hormone. And we all want our hormones to be in a good place as women. And so that's going to make you a lot happier when your hormones are in a good place. So that's why a lot of women start to see just happier moods and feeling better in men. I won't tell y'all how many times that I've looked at my husband and said, did you take your pink drink today? Because you need to. Okay, so anyway, I love this one because it does help with the gut garden too. But if you're thinking, I just would like to try this one. This is our hunger control. This has a fiber in it. You see how much longer it is than the microbiome one. The fiber helps keep you full longer. And it also does help with your blood sugar, but it does not have the stuff for your gut in it. So this one's just for hunger control. And also reduces inflammation in your body. So my husband that I talked about earlier in the call, I didn't really give you the update on that. I was going to wait till the end. But he began to see help with his inflammation in his body that was causing those back issues and causing that cramping to flare up. He began to see help with that just with Slim. Began to. And then when he added our Ease product, which looks like this is an inflammation like tackler. Okay, it's called Ease. It has all ingredients in it that are made for reducing inflammation. And when he began to take these 2, that was whenever he saw the true improvement. And he can just go out and work now without having days worth of stiffness and recovery and increasing cramps. It was really bad. Like, I mean, I don't really explain it as well as it really was, but he can go out and work like a normal dad and a normal husband now, all because of Plexus. Because before, he could only do like maybe one thing, and then it would be days worth before he could, of resting and getting his back in the right place, going to the chiropractor. I mean, it was just simple stuff like hoeing the garden would put him down for days. And now he can hoe the garden, mow the grass, weed eat, and all these things in a normal day, and he's fine. So I praise the Lord for that, because this is huge an extra prayer, because I thought I was going to be teaching my children how to do everything, because their daddy was, coming home from work every day asleep, because he wasn't sleeping the night before, and then he could hardly do the things that he needed and wanted to do, which isn't good for anybody. So especially when you got 3 little boys. So that is the triplex. So you got your Slim, you get to choose between the hunger control and the microbiome one. You get the bio cleanse, which is going to help flush out all the bad stuff. You got the probio 5, which is going to put the good stuff and get rid of the yeast in your gut, and all of it works together. This is all that Mackenzie took when she first started. Now she has since added, because I know I send her products every month. They come to my house and I send them to her. But let's see, yeah, here coming back. So she now takes this vitamin, which is a vitamin that has aloe in it that helps your body to absorb the vitamins that are inside of this. I really like this because I think it goes really well with the triplex, because you need a good vitamin anyway. But I think it helps your body to absorb everything too, just because the aloe increases the absorption up to like crazy amounts. I used to take a vitamin from like the health food store, and I would notice like 30 minutes after I took it that when I went to the bathroom, I could tell I had taken my vitamin because my pee had changed colors. This is not true about this vitamin, like ever. I never noticed that I've taken this vitamin. It just absorbs. So, and anything you don't need is expelled, but it doesn't change everything like my other vitamins used to. Okay, and the one product that we have for anxiety that I really love is this one. My husband took this one. He had a stressful job that caused him a lot of anxiety, and so he added the Vital Biome, and he takes 2 because he's a big guy, but you can just take 1. This is a probiotic. This is not a chemical or anything like that. This is probiotic, and it is specially formulated from the studies that Plexus does, that they understand about gut health, and it helps to support your body with anxiety. And I have heard countless amazing testimonies about people who've added that product in, who you can even use that as a standalone product and see results with that. So if you're looking more for weight loss, this is MetaBurn. This is our kind of thing that helps get your metabolism going, makes you feel really good, because it has 5-HTP in it. That's a good one for that, and just weight loss as a whole, getting stubborn belly fat moving. And Active is our clean energy drink. If you are looking for something this summer to help make it through the long days with your children at home from school, yeah. Anybody else feeling that? I am. And then I brought this over here because I'm actually going to mix mine up in just a second, but we have our collagen, which is amazing. I've been taking it now for several months, and I've seen extreme hair growth. And a lot of people take this post-COVID when their hair falls out. And skin issues improving, just the feeling of my skin being like more bright, and then nails and all that, and greens. I like to mix my collagen in with my greens. And then Hydrate is our Gatorade type drink, but this is a clean version. This has nothing gross in it, no colors, no sugar, nothing like that. It has only stevia and vitamins. So very good too. I love it. We have a lemon lime one that they just came out with, and I think it tastes a lot like the lemon lime Gatorade that a lot of kids really love. My kids, they will go through that one really fast. So those are just some of our products. I wanted to go ahead and give you, I could have stopped that screen share a long time ago. I wanted to go ahead and just give you a couple other things that you could be thinking about, because the triplex is just really a starting place. And that's where I would start everybody. If you are here, I would suggest that for you, even if you don't have a lot of health issues. And like I said, I want you see it as an investment in your health, because you just don't know. Like Mackenzie shared, she started it for one thing and then it just snowballed into other things. And any of y'all who know Sarah's story is just a miracle, really. I mean, just all that the Lord did for her through these products, and just, and in my husband is the same way. I mean, I feel like he's not even the same person that he was 6 years ago. And you just never know. So that's all that I have. And I'm going to stop this recording.